Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video tutorial. In this board and the next few boards we will be discussing a new topic, the central cannon with third pawn advancement versus the sandwich horse defense. So without further ado, let us begin. Central cannon, corner cannon, red develops his right chariot as a foul chariot and black goes for the sandwich horse defense. Now, one of the most popular ways for red to continue playing would be to play p3 plus 1. Now, the idea is to limit and prevent black from pushing the pawn forward and developing his horse over here. If black were allowed to do so, this would be very ideal for black, as the cannon and the horse would now control this file. And this is a very ideal formation that would follow the tenets of opening theory. And since red had pushed p3 plus 1, black would usually counter likewise to allow for development of this horse. Now this method is very commonly seen in actual play, and the effects of this pawn would usually cancel out the effects of this pawn, and also it would discourage red from developing the horse as a proper horse later on, even though there's a cannon skewer over here. So as a result, red will usually develop his horse to the edge file. And in the first few boards we will discuss black playing e3 plus 5 to whereby he will consolidate his defense. Now e3 plus 5 is the one of the earlier ways of playing this position. Now the idea behind this move was that black would be prepared to develop this chariot as a rank chariot to move over here, thus foregoing this flank, as black would try to concentrate material to attack red's left flank very early on. Now another advantage of playing e3 plus 5 is that black can always play a4 plus 5 and develop his chariot as a kingside chariot. Now in this first board we will be discussing red playing c8 plus 4. With c8 plus 4, this is a very slow but steadfast approach, and it's also a very targeted oriented move, because the cannon would now be threatening to play c8 equals to 7 to limit the black horse. And if red were allowed to do so, both the black horses would be undeveloped and the pace of black's counter attack would be greatly diminished. Another advantage of this move would be to play c8 equals to 3, whereby red will capture the pawn, protect the horse, and also apply pressure on this elephant, thus giving black something to think about when he tries to develop his chariot as a ranked chariot. Now if let's say if black had moved the left elephant instead, the effects of this move would be greatly diminished, because now if red played c8 equals to 3, the elephant would not be here for attack, and the effects of this move will be greatly diminished, and this will be discussed in a later board in the near future. So at this point in time, this would be the position of discussion, the two main variations for black to continue. The first will be a4 plus 5, the second will be p7 plus 1. Now with a4 plus 5, black would forego developing the chariot as a ranked chariot. Instead, he would choose to develop his right chariot as a kingside chariot to counterattack. And red would usually play c8 equals to 3 immediately, because if he played c8 equals to 7, black would move the chariot here and threaten to capture the cannon. So red would waste one move moving the cannon over here. So that is why c8 equals to 3 is played. r1 equals to 4, r9 equals to 8, and black pushes the cannon to the riverbank for protection, which will be protected by the horse. Now at this point in time, it would be a good idea for red to play p9 plus 1 to allow for development of the edge horse later on, because the situation on the board is rather calm and red will have to think far and long ahead. Now it would not be a good idea for red to play r8 plus 4, because black could play p1 plus 1. The development of this horse will become an immediate problem, and if red chose to trade pawns, this cannon, red will finally manage to move the horse, but the efficiency of this chariot is greatly diminished. And black will still be in contention after playing p9 plus 1, because now red would have black would now threaten to make this move to threaten the cannon. Now it would be a very bad idea for red to play h3 plus 4 because of this very brilliant move. Now black would sacrifice his cannon to capture the advisor, threatening to capture the chariot. And let's say if the king captured, check, and as can be seen, black would now be threatening to attack very ferociously. This chariot will become a huge menace. It will be threatening both elephants and the king, etc. And at this point in time, even though black would have sacrificed a cannon, he would have an advantage. So that is why h3 plus 4 should not be moved. So p9 plus 1 is the correct move at this point in time. And at this point in time, black would sacrifice a pawn to try to stir things up. Now this is a very tough countermeasure, and it showed that black was not willing to take things lying down. Now at this point, it would not be a good idea for black to play r4 plus 5, because red would simply offer the trade of chariots, and black would be in a dilemma. If he accepted, red would actually be allowed to move the horse to riverbank and gain tempo. This chariot would be in the open. This chariot would not have been developed yet. And then, neither would it be a good idea for black to play p9 plus 1 at this point, because red would have this brilliant move of capturing the edge pawn, sacrificing the cannon to capture the edge pawn, threatening to attack. So let's say p3 captured, red would simply advance the pawn for a fork. So red would gain back lost material immediately, and at the same time gain a pawn that had crossed the river. And usually by the 11th ply, if either color had gained a pawn that crossed the river, this would usually mean a significant advantage. So red would have the advantage firmly in hand. So that is why black's best move at this point in time will be to play p3 plus 1. So red will capture the pawn, r4 plus 5, so that this cannot happen. So the idea behind the pawn sacrifice earlier by black is now obvious, because red had captured the pawn. Red would now be unable to play r8 plus 4, and black would now threaten to capture the pawn for a fork. So p7 plus 1, black counter sacrifices, but black captures. Again, black tries to gain momentum by developing the chariot over here, trying to gain material. Black offers a trade of chariots to protect the horse. And after trading material, we can see that red will have this very nice move of c5 equals to 2 to threaten to capture the chariot. Now black will be placed in a dilemma. If he captured the horse, this would be an immediate checkmate. So the only thing that black can do would be to move the chariot back, and this would result in a loss of tempo. And it is very obvious to see that red would now have a huge advantage in hand. So this would end variation A. Variation B, the better move would be for black to push the pawn forward to offer a trade. Now usually this is not a good idea, because black will lose tempi, as the elephant will have to move to the riverbank and back again. However, in this particular situation, it is a good idea, because with this move, this cannon will now be unable to capture the pawn, and its efficiency will be greatly diminished. And this will be also black's only sound move in this position. So red accepts, trades pawns, and red can only play c8 equals to 7 to block the horse. And Black would now have realized his intentions of moving the horse to the riverbank. As can be seen, the cannon, the horse along this file is now very powerful. There's always h6 plus 4 to dislodge the red cannon. So Red will develop r9 equals to 8, and it will be a better idea for Black to play c2 equals to 1. Now this is a sound move. Now let's say if Black chose to play h6 plus 4 because the cannon was protected, Black could make this move, p1 plus 1, otherwise the cannon could capture the edge pawn, and the black horse would now be forced to attack the enemy, will be forced let deep into enemy territory alone without any backup. So Red will be given the opportunity to increase his initiative, and that is why h6 plus 4 is not a good idea. Now with c2 equals to 1, the cannon is now moved to the edge file where it can threaten to capture the pawn, and also still allow the chariot to be developed as a kingside chariot later on for attack. So Red will protect the horse, threatening to capture the edge pawn. Black refuses, and Red continues his attack very ferociously with r2 plus 6. Now, now at this point in time, this is a much better move than r2 plus 4, even though r2 plus 4 would discourage h6 plus 4 from happening. But with r2 plus 4, Black would now develop his chariot, p7 plus 1. Black would refuse to trade pawns. Instead, he will retreat the elephant, because now this will be a discovered attack on the red chariot. r2 equals to 3, p3 plus 1. And Black actually gets to cross a pawn across the river and force the chariot to take it. So Red would have lost some momentum, moving the chariot over here, and then finally to this place. And Black could now take his time to play r1 equals to form. The situation on the board is very calm, and Black would still be in contention. So that is why r2 plus 4 is not as good as r2 plus 6, whereby Black would now threaten to play r2 equals to 4 to threaten both the cannon and the horse, and also prevent e7 plus 5, or prevent the elephant from returning to the central file. So Black continues his a4 plus 5, hoping to play r1 equals to 4. Black threatens the cannon, h3 plus 4, and r1 equals to 4, as Black counters aggressively. So both colors will be pestering each other, and this will lead us to the end of the discussion for the first board. So a quick summary from the eyes of Black. So central cannon, pale corner, sandwich horse defense, and p3 plus 1. Black counters likewise, and since the pawn had pushed, it would not be a good idea to play the horse as a proper horse, so Red would develop it as an edge horse. e3 plus 5 will be the main discussion of the first board, and this will be the position of discussion. Red will play r8 plus c8 plus 4 for the 5-8 cannon's variation. Again, this cannon would threaten to block the horse or capture the pawn. Two main variations: variation A, a4 plus 5; variation B, p7 plus 1. The variation A, Red captures the pawn, gains an early material advantage. So 8 develops the chariot, c2 plus 2, p9 plus 1, very meticulous move. r8 plus 4 is not a good idea, because Black would play p1 plus 1, and the development of this horse would be a major issue. Red can only trade pawns, but in doing so he will lose momentum and with his material, and Black could take his time to play p9 plus 1, threaten r9 plus 3, etc. It would be a bad idea for Red to play h3 plus 4 because of this powerful attack, whereby Black will sacrifice the cannon to capture the advisor. capturing advisor. After capture, this will be a check, and red will be in a dilemma. The king will be without any advisors so early in the game, especially when black will still have chariots, and this would imply much danger. So p9 plus 1, p3 plus 1, this is a powerful move. p7 plus 1, and black would now play r4 plus 5. Because of p7 plus 1, red cannot offer a trade of chariots anymore. So p7 plus 1, counter sacrifice. After trading material, black plays very aggressively with this move. Now there was a variation I missed just now. Black should play r9 plus r9 goes to 8. If he captured the pawn, the red horse will now be allowed to attack. Two pieces will be attacking the cannon. Let's say if black moved the chariot to threaten the horse could be developed in this manner, and this will not only prevent the horse from being captured, it will be ready to go. So red will enjoy a tremendous advantage at this point in time. And then it goes to 8. Red offers a trade of chariots to protect the horse. After trading horses, black must eliminate the pawn, but in doing so, this elephant is now unprotected, and red could make use of this this very powerful attack to win. The cannon would now threaten to capture the chariot. If black captured the horse, this would be an immediate checkmate. So to variation B, 7 plus 1, best moved after trading pawns. The cannon can only move here, but black would now move the horse to the riverbank for attack. And then it goes to 8. Good move. h6 plus 4 is not a good idea because the horse will be forced to enter enemy territory alone. If he retreated, it will be a loss in tempo. 8 plus 6. Now this move, the chariot not only protects the cannon, he will be prepared to play c7 equals to 9 to attack the chariot, followed by capturing the central pawn. So that is why black must move the pawn. But in doing so, red will continue his attack. r2 plus 6 is better than r2 plus 4, because after trading material, this will be a calm situation, but black's formation over here is very powerful. 5, threatening. This would be a calm situation, both colors would be attacking, but black will still have a very playable game. So I hope you have enjoyed this short video. If you like the work I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.